Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast. Episode number 250. Almost at 1,000. Getting close. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner, wearing the same hat. How's it going, Tanner?
Good.
What are you doing today?
Probably nothing.
Yeah, it seems that way, aren't you? You're a shit friend, right?
Yeah, for sure. We'll move
Not
closer. Don't live so far away, Ben, but yeah.
It is kind of that simple. Welcome to the show. If you're new here and you'd like to get to the content already, you can do that. There are timestamps in the show notes or video description if you're on YouTube to skip at your leisure. Now, today, we are talking the most recent patch, obviously, Season 4 Reloaded. We did get another little baby patch in the meantime, which we're going to get into. But before that, just real quick announcement here for those of you who are patrons who are considering joining the Patreon. Another episode just went live today, this morning. Kind of like a Warzone brainstorm, sorta, but we had a lot of ideas we had wanted to try in Warzone last time. And then we tried most of them and talked a lot about our results and the conclusions we reached as a result of that. And then we talked a little bit about just kind of Warzone generally. And that episode is now live, and I enjoyed it. And we'll probably be revisiting this patch again on Patreon next week, once we've had some more time under our belts. But that is live for now, if you want to give that a listen. And tomorrow morning, for all patrons as well, a brand new type of episode is going live. An experimental type of episode.
It's experimental, all right.
It is experimental, yes. Tanner and I talked about other games we've been playing, mostly Escape from Tarkov. And we talk a ton about that in the Patreon episode going live Sunday morning, the 31st, which is somewhat related to Call of Duty because DMZ is very, very heavily inspired by Escape from Tarkov. So we talked a lot about that, a little bit about other shit we're playing currently, and again, a little bit about the state of Warzone. But I'm very curious to see what you guys think of that next episode that's going live on Patreon at patreon.com/dropshot. 7 bonus episodes a month. But I quite enjoyed, recording that and doing that. And I'm very curious what the feedback on that thing is going to be. What are your thoughts on our last 2 Patreon eps?
Yeah, the one where we kind of went over like the homework and different stuff, that one was good. That was definitely all Warzone focused. Yeah, we kind of just had like some general thoughts too about like Warzone currently. We'll talk a little bit more about it today, but like they had some sniper changes that they did and like other gun changes. None of it mattered, by the way. But so we kind of talked about some of that, like slightly, like the general balance and whatnot. And then, I think it was more, if anything, we talked quite a bit about Fortune's Keep too, like some different things we've been trying or doing on there, what to try, and different like perks that we've been changing up and trying on Caldera. So I thought that one was solid. And then, the one that goes live tomorrow, entirely experimental. We don't know if you guys are going to like it, hate it, not really sure. I think usually an episode like that would have probably been a platinum and up episode. But I don't know. I think everyone will enjoy it because I think most people will say they're a little burnt out on COD at the moment, a little bored maybe, so they're open to other things. So yeah, we kind of talk a lot about Tarkov and kind of like what keeps us playing a game like that, and kind of saying like what COD needs to do going forward in MW2 in Warzone 2 to kind of mimic that and give people something to do other than it's 2022. We can't just be playing video games for fun anymore. It's those days are over. It's not 2010. People don't just play them to have fun and do nothing. We need things to do and grind for. And that's kind of where we're at. So we kind of explained like the premises of Tarkov. If people have been interested in buying it, Raz gave a pro tip on that. If you're interested in buying it, and that pro tip was, of course, don't. But listen to the episode.
Pro tip was do not do it. Yeah.
And then just kind of talked about some other general games we've been playing or kind of what we're looking forward to in that. So hopefully, if you guys do like it, then excellent. We can start doing those here and there going forward about other games we've been playing, because that's actually we've had that suggestions long time ago. Like when we first started the Patreon, they're like, oh, you guys should like play a different game 1 month for a while and kind of like review that game or talk about it. So we've been getting that suggestion for actually fucking years, and we just never done it. So that was our first time trying it, so maybe you guys will like it. We'll see. But yeah, that Tarkov one goes live tomorrow morning, Ox.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking about that. If you're listening on an app or on YouTube, it's live now. So if you wanted to listen, patreon.com/the Dropshot. These are both at the gold tier, so all patrons will be able to listen to both of them. Very excited for feedback on that. Other than that, any other EPs or announcements rather? Tanner?
No, I don't think so. No.
So next month, keep your eyes on our schedule, because we're going to try some new things next month as well. That we are also likewise very excited about. We're not going to talk about it yet, but we'll be putting it on the schedule probably the first week. I think that would be a good week to do it. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at the Dropshot Pod, and then make sure you join the fucking Discord as well, which is linked wherever in the description
somewhere.
And places. Then you can check the events tab there as well, because we're trying something new almost certainly next week. Curious to see what you guys think about that. So other than that, let's get into this thing. If you're listening for the jingle, it's currently playing. Omega Bees with a gifted sub, their first gifted sub to this beautiful broadcast. Omega, welcome, buddy, and thank you very much for the gifted sub, dude. I appreciate that very, very much. You're a king.
Yummy. You want me to get you a Hawaii hat when I'm there, man? Next month?
Nope.
You sure?
Yep. All right. Welcome to the broadcast. Today, first impressions of Season 4 Reloaded. Now, before we get into the episode, the public service announcement, there was a patch to Serpentine after Season 4 Reloaded that has reduced the damage reduction it provides you from 20% to 15% now, which is something. I don't know how much impact that's going to have. I still suspect it's actually not working as intended, and it's stronger than it should be, and therefore this is 15% damage reduction instead of 20% damage reduction on more health than like people have or something. I don't know. It seems to perform too well for only applying to flesh damage. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, it did get nerfed a little bit, and I suspect it won't be a noticeable change. 15% instead of 20% is maybe one bullet, depending on the gun and range. Yeah. Because, I mean, 5% is really not that much. But I was going to say they've thought about it, but of course they didn't. So, I don't know. But do you think that's going to change Serpentine? Make it shit? Make it less of a problem?
No, because there's not a whole lot of competition in that category right now. If people aren't, if you're not running cold-blooded, then I'm never going to run EOD. I'm not a CDL gamer. I'm not going to run double time. So it's like, why not just run Serpentine and take, be a little sponge and take an extra couple bullets and not die from it? I don't know why you wouldn't still run it. So I don't think this is really going to change much. Sure, maybe it won't be as busted, but I think the whole lobby is still going to be running it.
I don't know.
Which is
a lot of people run cold-blooded, myself included.
I haven't been. It's pretty much since Serpentine came out, I've like never ran cold-blooded.
Huh.
It's been always on Serpentine.
Yeah.
Because you don't even notice that it's helping you, but as soon as you shoot other people, then you realize, you know, how much it feels like it's doing for them.
Serpentine, yeah, true.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. There's your PSA. All right. So now on to our first impressions. These are somewhat loosely ordered, but we're going to start here. I have a piece of media to present with all of you. Okay. This is a media presentation. A multimedia presentation.
Yeah. Pull out the, turn off the lights, everyone.
I want to give you guys some context. So this is a clip from my live stream. And this was my literally first game playing after the patch. And I had landed on the island maybe 5 seconds before this clip. So Tanner picked up a supply drop contract. I completed it to get the portable redeploy balloon to test that thing out, the new field upgrade. And then as I'm looting, let's just take a look.
Let's take a look together.
Cool, I'm dead. Tanner, you called it. So inside of 5 seconds, and you can hear me say in the broadcast, Tanner, you called it. Because Tanner said, watch the bomber plane bomb you while you're getting loadout. And that's basically what happened. It was a crate. So once again, I'm looting. You can hear the bomb fucking howling down on my ass, and then I die. And I would not have had time to start running away from this bomb by the time I heard the bomb.
If you hear the bombs, I think you're going to die to them, yeah.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, so this is very early on. There's what looks like 100, the clip's cut off, 115 players left, so the match had quite literally just started.
It was sub 1 minute into the match. Literally.
And the best thing of all that I pointed out, and thank you, Reflex, for again reminding us, Raz got the notification once he had heard the bombs. He had been down to the bombs. He's sitting on the ground down to the bombs, and then he got a warning across his screen. Enemy bombs incoming. Hit by a bomber? Literally, after it did not appear until after he was already enemy bomb above you after he's already downed on the ground when it bombed him.
Yep, smile.
Nice.
That's me smiling about it too.
So that was literally our first game on playing the update after the bombers came out. Within the first minute of the first game. After I had talked about, oh, cool, can't wait to get bombed on our loadout again. Battle Royale, by the way.
And this is emblematic, that clip, that multimedia presentation. That's emblematic of my first impressions of Season 4 Reloaded. That. So, here's the problem with the bomber planes. We might as well start here.
Let's start with the bomber planes, man.
These are obviously absurd. And
BR, by the way.
It's weird. Because, yeah, BR, by the way, you can hear the bomb, the pew, like the cartoon bomb sound from straight out of Tom and Jerry, super well. But you can't hear the plane at all. And that's the issue, isn't it?
We never heard the plane.
And that's the issue, isn't it? So when I hear the bomb whistling toward me, but it was deployed by a silent plane that's 20 meters above me, well, me hearing the bomb doesn't matter anymore because I don't have enough time to get out, even if I have the best reaction time on Earth. The plane's too close to me. So they, I'm sure, said, okay, let's make the bomb dropping audio really loud and clear so that people have time to counterplay the bomber plane. But the problem is you could drop the bomb from, again, 20 feet in the air, and then there is no counterplay because the planes are completely silent. They are completely silent. This was the case. This is the case with the bomber planes. Unfortunately, it was the case with the fighter planes as well, which may or may not still be in regular BR. I actually don't know, and I don't care because
they're in, man. You didn't see?
I don't hate myself and other people, so I don't use fighter planes in battle royale games.
I'll get into that in a minute. Yeah,
and Tanner will get into that, and also hidden non-patch note rather. I still cannot hear anyone who is parachuting into me or who is walking above me. And I think I figured out the issue. Because sometimes I hear footsteps
bad audio?
very well. Some guys behind me and I actually hear the footsteps. Sometimes I don't hear footsteps at all and I should hear them. And I figured out the common thread. What do people parachuting, planes, and sometimes footsteps all have in common?
People parachuting, planes, and sometimes footsteps all have in. What do they have in common,
things
man?
All have in common.
They're audio. They're pieces of audio.
They are audio I should hear and don't. And also, it's all above me. So I think I figured out the audio problem. The audio incident in Warzone is this. They cannot make me hear things that are above me. And I don't know why they can't figure that out. But when things are on my level, I seem to be able to hear them fine. If things are above me, even very close, they're silent. So, Activision, I'm telling you now, the core of the issue with the audio is vertical audio. You guys need to look specifically at things above people and fix it so that they can hear them. Because I still can't hear people parachuting. I still can't hear people in fighter planes or in bombers, any plane at all. And it needs to be changed now because I died entirely too many times from both of these things in an hour of playing Warzone. And it's embarrassing and shameful and scarcely playable.
Like if you're in Capital or places like that, you can easily hear people above you running around. You just can't pinpoint where they are. I don't think it's that. I think it's just certain specific things don't have audio regardless of the vertical issue or not. Because parachute, like people coming on parachutes, that used to have audio. It used to sound fine.
Yeah,
now
true.
It just actually doesn't exist. So I don't know. They're just things happen when they release updates and they just don't fix them, or they don't know what the problem is, or they don't think about it. The other thing is, like, I feel like the devs would argue like, oh, well, like the plane shows up on the minimap because you watch that clip and you see the plane coming in on the minimap. But the issue is the plane's 30 feet off the ground. You don't hear the plane. You're not always looking at your minimap. So by the time you may notice it, even if you do notice it on the minimap, what are you supposed to do in that situation? If the guy knows where you are and is flying into you, he's going to be on your minimap. Within 2 seconds, he's going to be over you, dropping the bombs. Within another 2 seconds, you're going to be dead and not even be able to do anything. There's actually nothing you could do.
Yep.
It's like they think people are flying around doing high-level bombing. Like, this isn't... What's going on here, man? That's not how this works. The bombs explode if you're 4 feet off the air. You can't get away from it. So... Smile, cool. This is really fun in a battle royale. I fucking won for one. Absolutely love it, man. Yeah, I have a ton of fun. Yeah, it's great. We were running towards. We were playing with Bandit and Jake. We were running from the drop spot neighborhood to airfield, and I literally said I was watching the sky. I was like, oh, cool. It's a dogfight simulator, man. It's just all dogfighting. There were 3 or 4 planes flying above airfield just shooting at each other. I'm like, what a great battle royale. I fucking love this game. It's gotten so good. I'm glad they've added all these features to it. Just excellent. Then, of course, we got there. We were in airfield. The planes respawn every 15 seconds. I counted at one point, there were 12 parked planes at airfield ready for people to use. 12.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Why do they respawn at all?
I agree.
Once they're gone, why do they respawn? I feel like they think like, oh, then like if they don't respawn, then someone can like just keep flying around in theirs and not get shot down. No, because you can shoot them down with small arms. There's AA guns all over the map if you really care to shoot them down. Don't have them respawn. It makes no sense, man. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like seriously, the respawn timer is it's less than 30 seconds, I believe. Someone takes off, they're gone. You are sitting there watching it and you see another one spawn in. It's ridiculous. And they're all over the place. 12 of them at airfield, 12 different spawns. So that's great and it's fun. And yeah, in that bombing clip, there was nothing you could have done to get away from it. And the biggest thing of all, the most disgusting thing of all, is of course the accessibility issue. Ted, I don't know if you know what this is. This is a mouse. I don't have a controller. How do I fly a plane?
Oh, yeah, that's impossible.
I can't afford a controller. It's an accessibility problem. You're locking these things behind controllers that I can't afford to buy and I can't use because I have a mouse and keyboard. That's an accessibility issue. That should not be a thing. You can't fly planes on KBAM, but you can do fucking barrel rolls on controller.
Yes, you can.
Accessibility problem. Fuck you.
Accessibility gap. Yeah.
So that's fun and exciting, man.
Yeah.
So I love bomber planes. Cool. Yeah, that's a great BR.
Yeah, super cool. So there you go. All right, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Stay humble.
I mean, that pretty much does sum up the update. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, so we have more to talk about, but that is actually emblematic of my experience thus far. So to continue on this bright and cheery note, the performance is considerably worse now. When I was streaming that day, I was dropping 40 frames every 10 seconds. I'd be at like a 140, 150 FPS, dip to 95 for like a second or two. 10 seconds later, it would happen again. This makes playing the game almost impossible. Pretty sure I lost at least one gunfight because the guy fucking b-hops me and then frame drop, I fucking freeze, and then he's somewhere else now, smile, and I died. So I played again. I played like 2 other times after that, and the performance was... I wasn't dropping 40 frames anymore, so maybe it was OBS, maybe I just needed to restart my computer. But even still, it's not as good as it used to be. The performance is absolutely worse post update.
Mine is fine.
Yours is fine, huh?
I had no changes in mine. Who else was... I think L was complaining about he had a lot lower frames, though, and both of you guys were on a newer NVIDIA driver. So it could be something with that.
Yeah, maybe that
PSA,
too.
We've said this numerous times. I don't know why any of you guys update your drivers. You don't need to. If you have a driver that you're getting consistent frames on and no crashing, do not update it. Turn off auto updates and NVIDIA GeForce control. Don't update it. Again, I've said this a lot, but my driver is 497.09, which came out in... let's see when this driver came out. December of last year. So this is an 8-month-old driver, and I don't crash in Warzone, and I get 200 frames. So that's, I think, one of the biggest ones to go to if you're having problems. Stop updating the drivers. The newest drivers usually don't work as well.
Yeah, I updated mine because I thought I was trying to troubleshoot my monitor. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. So yeah,
and if Warzone is not your main game and you play a lot of other games, then updating is usually good. Let's say like a new game comes out, like that game Stray where you play as a little cat. You probably want to be in the latest driver for things like that. But if you mostly just play Warzone, don't update your driver. Just leave it on an old one that works for you.
I would just say don't update your driver unless the game you play is giving you issues. Then try that first.
Yeah. I probably won't update my driver until MW2 Warzone 2 comes out. And even then, I may keep this one to see if
it works.
Performs.
Yeah, exactly.
But regarding the performance thing, I'll talk about this. I'm not experiencing this issue, but there is an actual game-breaking problem right now for tons of players, and that is if you've set up a custom class using certain and specific, I think it's mostly or all Modern Warfare gun blueprints, it will crash your game, dev error your game, and you will not be able to relaunch it. And there's nothing you can do until it's fixed. Because since you set up your custom class with that, as soon as you try launching the game again, you'll get to like fetching online profile and you'll dev error immediately and you cannot open your game. And there are tons of people having this issue right now. My brother-in-law just had it. I didn't know he was having this issue. He reinstalled his entire Windows because he thought it was his PC. And it's still doing it. It is a problem with the game where certain blueprints is just crashing you right on rip when you've set those up. Because, with this update, since it buffed MW guns, a bunch of people started setting those up again, and now those blueprints are crashing their games. So if you're dev erroring every game and you're looking for a fix, there's not one. There's like some workarounds people are trying to do, like if you have a console, log in on your console and then change all those blueprints or something. But if you just play on PC, then you actually get fucked. So I don't know if Raven has even mentioned this yet, but this is a massive problem going around now. So if you're using MW guns specifically, definitely don't use any blueprints because we don't know which ones are causing that. So fun and exciting stuff, man.
I mean, how does that even happen? That's such
maybe
a
it's been an
crazy
issue for a
bug.
long time, but just people haven't been using certain MW guns or blueprints.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, very weird.
That's absolutely what's happening to him, Drex. Yeah. Yep, that's what, yeah.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Next thing here is like the sun changed or something. Some people were bitching about this. I didn't notice it, but we were also getting fucking farmed. So maybe I just wasn't in the match long enough on Caldera, because I played... No, that's not true, though, because I played Fortune's Keep after that, and then we played quite a bit of Caldera the next day, and I didn't notice any change to the visibility. Now, that's not to say it didn't get worse. I'm sure it did, but it wasn't so bad that I even noticed it, honestly. And I still
the second
think
day, you
it's
mean?
Like fair. Yeah. What about you? You think this visibility got a lot worse? More glare?
It depends where you're playing. It's like Verdansk. When you're looking certain directions, it doesn't matter, but then other areas it does.
I see.
I don't think they actually fixed it. Yeah, they're still investigating that issue. They claim it was unintended. I don't know how you change the entire skybox, clouds, sun glare, sun placement, and it be unintended. To me, that just probably goes to show you that was already set for a future update and it accidentally came in. Like maybe with the Terminator shit that's coming out or the Titanium trials. I don't know how that happens. I mean, they said it was not intended, but yeah, it's certain areas. If you're like below peak, I think it was to the south of peak and fighting up it. I posted screenshots in Discord and on Twitter. You can't see anything. So Verdansk lovers probably loving Caldera right now, man. No visibility, fog everywhere. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you're walling, it's really good. Then other people can't see, but you always can.
Maybe I should wall. Should we just start cheating?
Let's cheat.
Should we just start spin botting
in
Warzone,
already are,
man?
you VPN abusing piece of shit, yeah.
Yeah, well, a VPN for a day and got a max of 3 kills, I think. So it's cool, man.
VPN harder. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So if it wasn't intended, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. What do we got here next, Tanner Dropshot?
I don't know. I had self-res every game within 2 minutes. That was already an issue, but now it's even a bigger problem theoretically. Because there are now extra legendary loot boxes because we needed those. So now there's more perks on the map, so now more people have ghosts. So more perks, more self-revive, more streaks, etc. You know, I've said it. Ted's a Resurgence gamer, obviously. This is a BR. Everyone... I mean, Jake's right. Seriously, just spawn everyone with self-res now at this point. It was funny, because one of the games we were playing, it was like... Actually, less than 2 minutes in, Jake and Bandit had both gotten downed. Both of them had self-res. Both Jake and Bandit had self-res. I'm like, dude, you guys already had self? They're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, holy shit, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
So now, yes. But I guess it's good that everyone has self-res, so when you get bombed, you can self-revive in time to try to get to cover before the bomber comes back and does another run on you, you know? Yeah, so that's good. You know, they're just trying to balance the game.
Yeah. You can really grind that damage taken stat, yeah.
We're off to a great start here, by the way. A lot of good things to say about this update.
So now, my first positive note on the update. The portable redeploy balloons are very cool. They work as intended, and they don't stay active for long at all. So once you throw it down, you have like 60 seconds to use it, which I think is fair. I think that's a good amount of time. It does transport you a lot farther than I expected it to. It's a bigger balloon than like a Rebirth Island balloon, but it's not as big as a Caldera balloon. It's in between those, but it's like pretty close to a normal Caldera balloon. Like you get quite high with these portable redeploys, and you can get some real fucking distance with these. I think this is cool. I'm almost certain you still get the trail, the red trail behind you, indicating that you're moving so people can see that. They won't hear you, of course, but we've gone over that. But I like the portable redeploy balloons. I think they're balanced pretty much fine. And having them only up for 60 seconds, I think is good. You have to like basically throw it down right when you want to use it. And
yeah, it may have been less than 60. It may have actually been like 30.
It could even be fewer than 60. Yeah.
It wasn't very long. I went higher and further than I thought it would take me. So I think it's a good distance they've made for it. I was expecting, the first time I use it, I'm expecting to be like, okay, it's probably about to fling me off now. And I just kept going. I'm like, oh, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. These can throw you pretty far. So they're very common too. I mean, I would find numerous in one game. Maybe the spawn rate's just higher right now or something. Because they're brand new, but I like them, I guess. Yeah, they work well. You can use them in a pinch. So many times I would pick them up and just never really have a need for them. Maybe I kind of just need to throw them down if I'm anywhere and just use it real quick, just to even maybe get to a regular balloon or something. But so many times I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to use it. We have a balloon 100 meters away. I'll just run to that, But I think I just need to learn to use them more than anything.
One thing it allows you to do, which I actually did, because I had a portable redeploy balloon on me, and then Jake and Bandit, you were dead.
I was dead the whole day, yeah.
Yeah, Jake and Bandit were going to like power, and we had a UAV up, and I saw a bunch of dots in Capital. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go overlook Capital and try and snipe some people. And then when I'm like done, I'm just going to balloon over to the squad again. And that's exactly what I did. So it allowed me to like split more than I otherwise would, because I knew I could get back to my team right away, which is exactly what happened. So that was cool. I think if you're holding one, you can potentially get into more dangerous positions or get more separated from your team without fear of getting like cut off. Because even if someone was in between me and my team, I'm so high in the air, I would have been able to easily like just go above them, no problem. So that's another kind of cool little thing about them that I quite liked. So yeah, I'm a fan of these. I think they're good.
I never really saw other people use them, actually. I guess I wouldn't really know because people land on us anyways. Did you? Okay.
The game I crashed, I saw people. In fact, I think it was the game before that. This team rotated out of airfield with a portable redeploy, because I was holding them and the circle was rotating like south of airfield, and I was holding these two guys, and I was like, they're 100% fucked, because gas is coming like right now. They have no way out but through me, basically. And then they threw down a portable redeploy balloon, got out of there. And then you and I ended up running up that hill and killing them. I don't know if you remember that. You shotgunned them. Or you shotgunned one, and then I shotgunned the other one.
Yeah.
That play. Those guys only got there because of a portable redeploy balloon. Otherwise, I would have killed them both 1,000%.
Now that I think about it, the game you crashed when we were in the tower and then Bandit killed himself with the airstrike through the tower, those guys, I think, probably use their own redeploy to get on top of us. Because I think they were down low at the tents, and then all of a sudden they were landing on the top of the tower.
Right.
So I bet they used one right there, actually.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, they could put you in crazy situations where you can get kills that you shouldn't otherwise have.
And I also like that they have an indicator on the map. That's good too, because you need to be able to know that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to know that. That's how I knew how those guys got up there. It's like I saw the fucking indicator I don't think it was in the gas, but it was like airfield side where they had cover from me, and I was like, you cocksuckers. And then they got out, and I see them, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it. So it's good that they have a map indicator. They would be like probably too good if they weren't indicated on the map at least, so that's good. Next is the new gun, the Vargo S. It seems fine. Mine's not max level, but I was sniping for a few games. I was doing pretty well too, actually, and I was using the Vargo S as my like sniper support secondary. But at the time, it was like level 15, so I just had like super basic attachments on it. I got a couple kills with it. It felt fine. It didn't feel unique or special in any conceivable way. The TTK was usual. The handling was usual. The fire rate was usual. The audio was usual. The look of the gun is usual. It is a very just average. It's a gun because it's a Vanguard AR. Of course it is. I would also add that while I have not used it, I do not expect this to be a meta long-range AR. It might be good as a sniper support AR. I need to look at SimGG to determine that. But honestly, I suspect probably not. It'll probably be usable, but I'm almost positive there are going to be better options, even as sniper support. So I suspect that it has no place in the meta, to be honest. Also, in the description of the gun, it says it's a high fire rate gun. It's not, though, right?
I'm looking it up. I'm literally looking at it on Sim right now. It has a lower fire rate than more than half of the other Vanguard
I don't know why
ARs.
in the description
it is the most normal fire rate. It's like 650, whereas like, okay, say high fire rate about the AS44, which is 920.
Yeah,
that's a high fire rate AR.
That's real high.
I'm like, okay. I mean, compared to the Meta NZ that everyone's been using, that's 500. So I guess it's a higher fire rate than that. Yeah. But cool, man. It's not good. Have you used
this thing at all?
I started using it, leveled it up a little bit, and then everything I was seeing was like, it's like the most mid AR. There's nothing special about it. It's not good. It doesn't get good. It's usable, I guess, but doesn't like shine at anything specific. You know, a lot of guns have something they're really good at, like the KG, good at long range, doesn't kill the fastest, but easy to control. The AS44 can be built as basically an SMG class that kills insanely fast up close. You just have slow mobility. This is just like a gun that has nothing special about it.
Yeah. Yep. And that's just the problem.
Pretty mid.
With, again, 10 attachments is like every gun can do everything. I don't know. It's just a boring gun. Yeah. I wish it was actually a high fire rate AR, by the way. Like a Cooper carbine or even more base fire rate. Then it would be like interesting. And at least maybe it would be a viable like sniper support gun, but I just can't imagine that it is.
It has a fire rate barrel. And even with that fire rate barrel, it still has a lower base fire rate than like the Cooper, the AS44, all of those. I think it increases up by like 110 or so. So that takes it up to it's like 750, 760 fire rate, which is still lower than at least 2 or 3 other base ARs. So
base Vanguard ARs, yeah, exactly.
Vanguard ARs, yeah. Oh yeah, I've only been talking about Vanguard ARs the whole time. Yeah.
Yep. Smile. So cool. That's that. Guns boring. Remember like season 1 of MW 2019? We got like the Growl and a fucking, I don't know, an SMG that was also good. Remember that, dude? Remember when new guns actually meant something in Warzone?
That's why I want Warzone too. Just, if nothing else, a clean slate. A new map and a clean slate. No, not 400 guns to choose from. 40 total weapons in the whole game. There's no main COD title in 2023, which means we don't have another 60 guns coming a year later. You know, it's going to be DLC guns that we get, couple here, couple there, that hopefully are going to have more identity and be more meaningful since there's way less guns to pick from. So that's what I'm ready for, and I want it now. Launch it now. Drop MW 2 early. I don't care if it blows up my computer.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, burn my 3090 to the ground. I don't care at this point. Just give me a new game, man.
Yeah, it really is that simple. Part of it is that there's so many weapons, and then again, another part of it is like the reason the Growl was so good is because its iron sights were so clean that you didn't have to use an optic.
Yeah.
And therefore you got a free attachment, because on every other MWAR you had to use an optic.
Yeah.
Okay. But with Vanguard ARs, you don't have to pick and choose attachments. So if a Vanguard AR has really clean iron sights, I literally wouldn't know that, because I'm still gonna prefer a red dot. I don't care how good the iron sights are.
Yeah.
But you don't have to choose. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Anyway. Crotch discomfort hurting your game? Fear no more. The kings of crotch comfort, MANSCAPED, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. Sleek, soft, comfortable, and flexible, The brand new Boxers 2.0 from Manscaped take your balls to the royal ball throne. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the Lawnmower 4.0 for the trimming, so you can wear the Boxers 2.0 or the chillin'. Let your bulge breathe and get 20% off and free shipping by using code DROPSHOT at manscaped.com. These boxers are fantastic. They're comfortable. They fit very well. They have an ample space for my ample jewels. And I think they're like Tanner's favorite pair of boxers ever. They're really comfortable. Let's say you're on a date and your partner catches that Manscaped on the waistband of your underwear. It's almost guaranteed to raise some eyebrows and act like a billboard on the highway to Pleasure Town. Thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0, the best electric trimmer for below-the-waist grooming. This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight, which you'll need for a more precise shave. These boxers also are a game changer. The Jewel Pouch, a pouch designed to cradle your boys in their own special space, lined with perforated performance fabric to keep them nice and well ventilated. Heaven on earth? More like heaven on girth. The micromodal fabric is buttery soft and breathable, keeping that cucumber cool. Walk, run, strut. These moisture-wicking boxers breathe without breaking a sweat. Get 20% off and free shipping with our code DROPSHOT at manscaped.com. Once again, 20% off and free shipping if you use promo code DROPSHOT at checkout at manscaped.com. Up your crotch game, because once the Boxers 2.0 touch your sack, you'll never go back. Next is the weapon balancing update.
What are the meta ARs? KG and NZ, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So it didn't really change much at all. The meta ARs are still exactly the same. The meta SMGs are probably exactly the same. I'm not actually positive on that, but I suspect that that's true. The only thing that really was impactful with the weapon balance change was the buff to shotguns. And it does seem that at least a couple shotguns are like actually viable in Warzone now. And because aiming is cringe, I'm actually in favor of this. So I was using the VLK Rogue.
Yeah, you sure were,
which is a Modern Warfare 2019 shotgun. Because that was kind of all the rage about post buffs. And it is really good in Warzone, actually. It is... it has like you have to like cock it. So what is that called? Rack the slide, is that what it would be called?
I guess, yeah.
So you have to rack the slide on the shotgun. It's not semi-auto. You can't just keep pulling the trigger. But also you can, because you rack the slide very, very quickly with a VLK. So it's almost semi-auto. The downside of it not actually being semi-auto is that you cannot, like, stem slide while shooting, for example. You can once, but then you're going to have to wait until your stem animation is done to be able to shoot again, because you need to rack the slide. But like with a Street Sweeper, for example, or a Jack 12, which is fully auto, or even a Gallo, a semi-auto gun, you can be banging a stem with your left hand and continually firing with your right, which allows you to stem slide into people while shooting, which is really good. Because you have to rack the slide or whatever, on a VLK, you can't do that. However, it's still very good, because if you're not doing that, it refires extremely quickly. Not like a Spaz 12, for example, or a Model 680. And it is a 2-shot kill on someone fully plated inside of like 5 meters. And maybe inside of even more range than that. So if someone's like weak at all, you can just 1-shot kill them. And that was mostly my experience. So if someone's missing a plate and you shoot them once with a VLK Rogue, see ya, they're dead.
Wow.
Plus Dragon's Breath rounds to give you the little extra push if you need that. Yeah. That's what makes it, I think, really busted. is like this. I got a number of kills this way. One of you guys would make someone weak, even a little weak, and then I would run in and shoot them once and they're dead, because it does a lot of damage. And you could like burn away the last little bit of their health. Or if they're full health, shoot them twice. Not that hard to do. The setup is Dragon's Breath round, and it's a box mag, which is really nice, by the way. Dragon's Breath round, no stock, 5 milliwatt laser, Forge Tack Marauder, muzzle, and then I actually don't remember or know which barrel's better. But whatever barrel gives you the most damage range, do that one. I think there are only like 3 barrels.
Looks like it's the last barrel.
I can look it up on Sim right now.
Oh, damage range, it's Warlord or Czar.
Okay.
Remember which one?
Yeah. So I'll look that up right now. But Tanner, what are your thoughts on the weapon balance update?
Oh, we'll start with the shotguns. Yeah. So the VLK Rogue at base 136 RPM. I was using the Model 680, which is a pump, 71 rounds per minute. So it has half the fire rate of the VLK. Well, basically doing the same amount of damage, maybe even less damage. So there's really no place for it. Oh, the VLK will be getting nerfed, by the way. Tully.
Oh, you think so?
Well, absolutely. Tully, one of the Raven devs, someone was tweeting about the VLK, about how it was like two-shotting, and he responded to it with a simple emoji that was a ticking clock.
Oh.
Obviously meaning
man.
Warzone loadout tweeted out about the build.
All of my fun, dude. God damn it.
And he tweets out a little clock. So obviously he's saying it's on a timer.
The barrel to use is the VLK Czar, by the way. That's the meta barrel.
The Czar, nice, man.
It's way better than the Warlord, yeah.
I started off with the Gallo, because that's what used to be meta in Verdansk for a while. The Gallo was a ton of fun to use. A lot of fun to use.
Yeah.
Dog shit. Horrendous. Terrible.
Huh?
That was not one of them that got straight up buffed the damage range, but I wanted to try it because it was semi-auto. Has the damage range of nothing. Your fists. I mean, outside, I guess that's how most of the shotguns are now, but it's like, there were guys that I literally got that were probably like 10 plus meters away. One guy got 6 or 7 hit markers with a shotgun. So it's like, you miss one shot up close, even within 5 meters. If I miss one shot with a semi-auto shotgun, I'm pretty much dead to some other guy with a Marco, a high fire rate SMG.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not a dirty rat. The VLK Rogue was a gun that came way later on into MW, so mine is not leveled up. It's like level 6. Raz is a dirty shotgunning rat. I am not, so I didn't try that. Then everyone else like, oh, try the Model 680. So I'm like, okay, I'll humor you guys and try that. It's fine, but again, I miss one shot up close to any SMG, and this guy's not going to hit a shot on me. Boom, dead. See ya.
The
terrible fire rate.
Too slow, yeah.
It's a 2-pump too, but the refire rate is god awful, and so I can't afford to miss that one shot up close.
Right.
So yeah. So I don't think most of the shotguns are usable. It sounds like it's just the VLK, and now of course they're going to nerf the shit out of that. God forbid someone has a 2-shot gun within 5 meters, but 300 meter no recoil AR gunfights are fine.
With a slower TZK than meta SMGs too.
Yeah,
probably. It's just so insane.
Yep.
So yeah, that's very
Gunsmith
cool.
Gurus though.
Gunsmith
but on top
Gurus,
of the other weapon balancing besides the shotguns, none of it matters. For us, for some of you guys, it may. So a bunch of the Modern Warfare Cold War assault rifles got buffed.
None of it matters.
The minimum
on
damage,
Caldera. The
maximum damage range. That's what I'm saying. We don't play a whole lot of Resurgence. Maybe we will, because I've had more fun on Fortune's Keep recently than Caldera, actually. Except for not ever being able to get a loadout on Fortune's Keep. But never, and I mean never, ever will MDEV or Cold War ARs be remotely viable in Caldera, as long as these Vanguard ARs have a usable 3-6 optic. So it doesn't matter for that. Now, some of these now are usable on Rebirth and Fortune's Keep, where they otherwise weren't. They do more damage. In general, most of them still kill slower than like Vanguard ARs and whatnot, but it's close enough that you can have fun with a bunch of them now. I was using the AMAX, which actually isn't even one of the better ones, I don't think. I didn't look at the time to kill, but it felt fine. I was using it with a hollow sight on Fortune's Keep. It was fun to use something different, but a meta AMAX with a hollow sight had more recoil than a Vanguard AR zoomed in 6 times, literally. I mean, even at like 50 meters, it was hard to control with the hollow sight. It's just, it's genuinely crazy looking at how we've gotten here with this current weapon balancing, that used to be the meta gun, and now it's unusable compared to the newest game's assault rifles because it has that much more recoil, not zoomed in. With a non-zoom optic, it's nuts.
I know. Actually,
it's the game. Warzone never had a skill gap. It has the lowest amount of skill gap currently than it's ever had in its life cycle by far. So that's a little ridiculous. So I'm sure Swag or whoever else. Let's actually check. Let's check Swag's most recent clickbait video. I'm sure Swag has posted a video about like the kilos back. Yep. AMAX is better than ever. He's wrong. They buffed the Modern Warfare kilo. Don't listen to those. If you play Fortune's Keep or Rebirth, that's fine. If you play Caldera, just stop. Absolutely stop. They're not usable because you can't see anything. This was happening. Bandit was sitting right next to me on a hill with a KGM 40. We were above fields. He was looking towards the pit. Shooting at a guy I could not see while I was zoomed in with my VLK, and he's hitting every shot on the guy. I finally find him. I spray 15 bullets with my kilo, with my VLK optic. And I hit him with like one and get the down because Bandit had him absolutely one shot. I'm like, dude, I never saw that. And he's hitting every shot on him from that range. So don't think for a second that any of these guns are meta. They're not even viable on Caldera. So don't bother. I tried a bunch. If you want to have fun, sure, but you're not going to win long range gunfights ever. If you play super aggro and always make everything turn into like close range gunfights, then it's probably doable. M13, also dog shit, yeah. AMAX, Kilo, Krig, all of them, they're not good on Caldera. Sure, you can use them on Rebirth and Fortune's Keep now. You can use just about any gun on there and do okay enough with it. But they will never be meta on Caldera on any big map until we see a change with the optics, because that's the underlying issue with the guns.
Yeah, exactly. That plus the fucking just no recoil. Makes it unusable. However, I will add on the shotgun topic. I'm looking at the notes here, and this is what I forgot about. And I think we both encountered this multiple times, in fact. One other shotgun that's performing pretty fucking well is the 725 from Modern Warfare. It has an insane refire rate. You only have two, it's a double barrel shotgun. So you only have two, rounds. What am I thinking? Shells chambered at a time, but you can shoot them both like instantly. You have a pretty good damage range to 2-shot people, and you can kill them really fucking fast. And I died to this multiple times on Fortune's Keep. I think the same guy killed me twice with it and then killed Tanner once in the same match. He would just like kind of get close, stim around, and then blap, blap, dead. And so that's going to be really good. I would say if you play like solos, 725 is probably the best secondary you can run, actually. Because you only need 2 shots, and you're definitely going to kill someone. And it's not that hard to do, because it's a shotgun, obviously. I was getting fucking dunked on by it. Did you, you did die to this, right? On Fortune's Keep? On the little FK?
Oh, to that little 725 rat, that kid named Toxic.
Oh, that's what his name was, huh?
His name was Toxic, and he was running the little short barrel.
Man. Yeah, very cool.
The short barrel 725, man. Oh, he farmed me, yeah.
He fucked your ass.
Farmed all of us. He farmed all of us because I was trying to just get to my loadout that was being camped by a different team, and I couldn't even get to it. And then I'm over here fighting Toxic with his little short barrel 725. Yeah. So yeah, it was seemed pretty good. It worked for him. I don't know, man.
Certainly
I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever used a 725 in Warzone. I'm not kidding. Ever.
Never. I've never, of course.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah. I mean, why would you,
Well, apparently Toxic. Yeah, Toxic knows the meta and we don't, I guess.
Clearly.
But I think The thing basically that needs to be said there is the meta did not change on Caldera whatsoever. The top 3 SMGs are the Marco, the Blixen, the Arma, and the top 2 ARs are the NZ41 and the KGM40. Actually, nothing changed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the story with like the last 3 weapon balancing updates they've done, is nothing has changed. They've nerfed the NZ, this is the 4th time it's been nerfed, I think. Literally 4th time, probably.
Yeah, I would say probably. Yeah. Which is super cool.
And they've done numerous different things to it every single time. I just want so badly to just wake up one day and see a patch note that says decrease base recoil control on every Vanguard AR by 40%.
Actually,
that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen because now people have become accustomed to this. And they're just so easy to use, and they're not going to revert it now because they've gone too far. So all we can hope for now is that MW guns have recoil, and there's some sort of skill gap left there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that kind of leads into what needs to be done with Modern Warfare Cold War ARs to get in line with Vanguard guns. As in, would you prefer that the Vanguard 3-6 get nerfed to the ground? Or would you prefer the MW and Cold War guns be buffed to align with a 3-6? Because I'm camp of nerf the shit out of the Vanguard 3-6.
Interesting.
Then that kind of gets rid of the long range AR battles. Great question. My initial thought is really bad ADS, but that still wouldn't. If you can zoom in 6 times and have no recoil, even if they added 75 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds, the ADS, it would still be the meta optic. I think all the zoom optics need like a recoil penalty. I think like the 3-6 needs to have it like decreases your recoil control, or maybe even like higher flinch or something. I don't know. That would be very annoying, but if they get rid of the 3-6, then that brings the current sniper meta that we have, which is a boring. The only long range slow snipers are meta pretty much. That brings them into play and actually gives them a proper place. If you have a 3-6 that's like unusable, so then at long range you actually feel like, oh, I should take a sniper so I can kill these people from far away since I can't with an AR anymore. So I think that's the way to solve it, is nerf the ever living shit out of the Vanguard 3-6. Slower ADS, more recoil or less recoil control, meaning more recoil, more flinch. Even decrease the amount it zooms. Like that 6 times, I don't make it like a 1-3 or something.
Yeah.
And just basically erase it. But then if they do that, then they're gonna have to do the same with the other scope, which is like what, a 4-8? Because then people would just start using that. So they'd have to nerf them all at the same time. But I just can't see them doing that, because then so many of those fights on the Caldera are at those ranges. You know? But
yeah.
It would make me personally use a slow sniper again if I knew I could see people and hit people in that range.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of, this map they've designed has just kind of forced us into this type of weapon meta and balance we have right now, because all of the gunfights are at such a long range. Like, even if we didn't have these optics, then you'd still be, I don't know, maybe trying to shoot these people at 300 meters, but it's just like the way the map is designed, of all these long sight lines from hill to hill that, have kind of forced people to use these long range scopes.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to say like flinch, but I really don't want a lot of flinch also. Because then, like, for the regular up close gunfights, that's not good. Maybe you could tie flinch to the optic itself.
That's what tie flinch to even the zoom level. I don't know if they can do that or if they ever would, but you should have more flinch zoomed in 6 times, because if you get hit by a bullet at 6 times, you should not be able to see anything anymore, compared to if you're using that same optic at the lower zoom level.
3X,
the flinch not nearly, they could, the 3X is perfectly fine. That part of it is fine. It's the 6 times issue.
Right. I think that would be the best way, because like ruining the ADS speed would be something, but like you said, it doesn't matter.
People would still use it.
If I have to zoom in for 150 milliseconds versus 300, Still, I'm still going to kill you, and I'm still going to use that gun. Like, it doesn't really change much. I think some flinch would help, maybe. I wouldn't want the MW guns buffed to be on par with the Vanguard ARs.
Then it'd be the same meta we have now, right?
Yeah, that, and they would have to do so much work to make that even happen. I mean, even if they added the exact optic to MW guns, they'd also have to reduce the recoil on every MW gun, including the Kilo, actually. And they would also have to, like, massively increase the base movement speed for me to ever consider using an MW gun. Even if it zoomed in as much and had as little recoil as a Vanguard AR, I'm still not picking it over a Vanguard AR, because the Vanguard AR movement speed's way better. Because MW guns are just fucking slow. So it's like they would have to do so much to the MW guns to put them on par with the Vanguard ARs. I feel like I'd rather they just, nerf that optic, or just give every gun a lot more recoil, which is I think the easiest way to do this, and the best way. But again, this is the problem with having 5 billion guns in your BR. How do you balance things? It's so hard to do, because there's so many fucking guns people can use. And it just makes the game bloated and disgusting and cringe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they just need more recoil. I think it's that simple. But it's like, the reason we're in this hole is because you let people use all 10 attachments. Another way you could balance it is limit the number of attachments you use on a Vanguard AR to 6 or 7. That would balance it too.
Shit.
That would balance it a lot.
I've literally never thought of that. That would be an excellent, simple thing to do.
Yeah.
But that was the whole draw of Vanguard.
Exactly.
You can put 10 attachments on your weapon, so they're not going to do that.
Exactly.
I've never thought about that, and I've never heard anyone say that. That's actually a really good idea. Fuck, that's an excellent idea. Meaning they'll never do it.
Correct. Yeah, they'll never do it.
God, dude, that would be a great idea. Holy shit.
Because you'd have to drop, like, lengthened,
you can still...
or you'd have to drop,
you could
like,
still use the 3 to 6, but then you're going to have more recoil because you don't have all the attachments on there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the idea. Which, and I think that would be good too. I just don't see them ever doing that, so.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll give the guns more recoil. They've done that before. I don't think they're going to do that either, to be clear. But I think...
Well, they did in this last weapon balancing, and it feels the same.
Well, yeah. To, like, yeah, I don't know. Or just, I don't know. You
Buff
could
the
even
EM2.
give lengthened, the ammo type, more recoil. So if you use lengthen, you also have like 5 or 10% more vertical horizontal recoil control.
Yeah, because lengthen has 0 trade-offs, right?
Correct.
There's nothing. You literally just get velocity for it.
Correct. Yeah. So then, like, if you want
Which
to use
is weird,
lengthened,
because like everything else has trade-offs for the ammo.
yeah, some of them don't. Like FMJ, I don't think does either. But because then it's like,
true.
if you want to use lengthen for the extra velocity, it's going to be harder to control as well. So it's like you're trying to make it better at 3 to 6, but you're also making it worse, or at least more difficult to use. It's another thing that maybe could do. I don't really like that solution, but it's another potential one. But all of this is to say none of those ideas will happen because they are decent ideas.
Yeah.
And therefore Activision will not implement them. The game's just too bloated right now at this point. It's too far gone, and we're just waiting for Warzone 2. Vanguard ARs are going to have no recoil and no flinch and no identity until Warzone 2 comes out, and that's just the way it is. So, smile. But yeah, the MW guns will absolutely never, ever, ever, as far as long-range ARs, be meta ever on Caldera. Now, with that said, on Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, this weapon balancing change potentially did actually a lot.
Yeah.
Because you don't really need that insane range on those
not at
maps. So the Kilo, I'm sure, is like actually super viable now. Other things as well. We don't play that much of Fortunes and Rebirth, and we don't care as much. But for those of you who do play that, take a look at what got buffed. Those probably are usable now. And maybe even meta. I don't really know. I wouldn't know. But do you have any thoughts on that topic? Because you were using the AMAX on Fortune's Keep, right?
That's what I was using it on.
How did that feel?
I mean, it felt good. Like it feels good, but then that's all I used like the whole time. So I never really used like an AR right after to compare it to. That's the issue. Is like people will use guns of like, oh, this feels like it's killing really fast, and then like you use a different gun and you realize, oh shit, it's not. It really doesn't kill that fast, I don't think. But it was interesting and fun to use. It just felt more rewarding. Like using that gun alone had way more character than any Vanguard AR because it had an amount of recoil. You know, like I started off with the VLK and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try the hollow sight because a lot of these engagements aren't even at a long distance. I'd use the hollow, and the hollow still had a little bounce to it. And it was like fun trying to like rip people off headies when the gun bounced a little, but I forgot what that was like. I don't know. It was something interesting to do. So at this point, more of the player base is on Rebirth and Fortune's Keep than Caldera anyways, I'm almost certain. So in general, the weapon balancing probably did help the majority of the player base have more options. But for us that we want to play Caldera only, there's almost no reason to anymore because it's so close to Resurgence. But that's what we want to play, and for us, it just didn't change anything on Caldera at all. And then we already talked about this in the Patreon episode, but they did buff the sniper damage ranges, and that is also pretty much only a thing that affected Rebirth and Fortune's Keep players. Because like the max damage range for a Swiss went from like 53 to like 73 or like 70 meters or something like that. I think
it was
so
like
there
30 like 3 to like 49. Which is just
You're thinking of the car, the MW car.
I am. Okay.
The Swiss was a lot better. The Swiss is out to like 70 now.
Oh, okay.
So there are definitely going to be areas like hotspots where, you know, maybe you're on the roof of prison on Rebirth and you're looking into a window down at Grandma's. There may be like certain windows and little areas now where people used to peek and that wouldn't be a one shot previously. Now that is. Right. So that's definitely opens up the sniper meta a little bit more. But you know, that's kind of how Rebirth and Fortune's Keep have always been. You can almost use whatever gun you want and just have fun with it. Doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. So. I think the weapon balance update for those smaller maps probably did open up the primary meta a lot, which I think is really good because like, yeah, they buffed the AMAX and the Kilo and some other MW guns. And now they're viable on those smaller maps. But they aren't like decidedly way better than Vanguard ARs anymore on those maps either. So that's cool because now you have more variety of viable long range ARs on Rebirth and Fortune's Keep, and that's nice because there are identities between games ARs for sure. Like an AMAX is actually going to feel like a different gun than a Vanguard AR, whereas an NZ versus an STG versus an automaton versus anything on any Vanguard AR, they all feel the same. So a KG M40. So that's good. There's more like viable options now on the islands. So that's cool. So now a couple things we did not do. We did not play Rebirth of the Dead, but we will, so we'll give you guys our thoughts on that. It doesn't matter that much. It's a party mode, so who cares? We also did not find a cursed chest on Fortune's Keep. I don't know how common they are, but we played for a while and did not see a single goddamn one, so I think they're fairly uncommon.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't remember what it said.
Are they only in certain areas?
No.
Or are they random?
I think it's just random. At least according to the notes, it didn't say it was only certain areas. Not that I can recall. And then the NOS UV, the NOS nitrous oxide SUV, the new vehicle that got added, didn't see it, and therefore didn't use it. So I have no impressions on it, but I can tell you what my impressions will be. Oh, cool, it's a vehicle, and you can NOS boost now. Doesn't matter, I don't care. But that's another thing we did not experience that is new. So, yeah.
Yep.
What do we got next year, Tanner?
Where are the changes to Peak? In pre-Season 4 Reloaded blog posts, there were screenshots. Peak was obviously different, and those are not here yet. Now, I was kind of confused when Charlie Intel didn't mention it, because every time they'll tweet out like the blog post, and then they'll like an hour later tweet the image again of Peak, and then be like, does Peak look different? Side eyes, knowing the map was changed. So obviously, it's obvious there's some sort of map change there. We didn't get it yet, though. So I'm assuming this is going to come with like the Terminator lore shit when we get Titanium Trials, and that's gonna...
Please continue.
And that's going to change the map.
By the way, into my mic, so.
Looking for sponsors, by the way. Insert sponsorship ad right here.
Yeah, that's where ad read's gonna go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't... It's obvious there are map changes in the screenshots. Don't have them yet. So those are probably coming with Titanium Trials. Because, yeah, Charlie Intel will always mention that, tweet about that, because they know. And they didn't, which means they're probably like, oh... we'll tweet about it when it's gonna come out, since it's not actually out yet. So that has to be coming, or they just actually baited us with screenshots and the map's not changing, even though it was different in the map in the screenshots. I don't know what's going on there, man.
Smile XD. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah. I am curious to see what they do there. It is weird that they put him in the screenshots and just didn't mention it at all. Like,
they always mention it.
You know?
They'll always mention little things like side eyes, like, what is this? Right. Looks like Peak has been destroyed. Part of Peak has been destroyed, and they didn't. So
right, very bizarre, very Giga bizarre indeed.
Don't say Giga bizarre.
It's Giga bizarre, and it's that. And
you're
it's
Giga bizarre.
You're Giga cringe. But yeah. So, whatever. There you go on that. Okay. So on Titanium Trials, this is the only thing I'm like actually quite excited for with Season 4 Reloaded. I frankly did not expect any of this to be very transformative, and it wasn't. Not very much got added with this mid-season update. And luckily, Ted Timmy Timmons wasn't telling tall tales on the TL this time around. He did not hype up this season Reloaded, which is good because he shouldn't have.
No, he did.
Did he?
You just don't check Twitter. Of course he did. Every time he did.
Give us a little rundown.
Oh, I'll go to the TL right now. Let's see. Okay. He said, can I ask the community for Warzone patch note hype displayed in GIF format for tomorrow's patch notes? And he used a GIF that says, let's fucking go. And it was like a guy all excited. Then he tweeted out the update and he said, W question mark. Then he tweeted out some other stuff.
Than whatever the fuck he was saying about Season 3 Reloaded.
You're right. He's still giving hype to something that gave us zero content, though. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is probably the same thing as Season 3 Reloaded, is they hype it up and then nothing changes until like 2 weeks after the update, which is going to be the Titanium Trials update.
Yeah. And I'm very excited for the Titanium Trials. Again, last time when we played Iron Trials, it was super fucking fun. Felt like a totally different game. Burger bot lobbies. And I am curious to see how that plays again. And it really is striking how much longer you survive in Iron Trials, and especially it's going to be crazy this time. And I said this last time about Iron Trials. I had been playing just normal ass BR, then Iron Trials came out, then I played that. And the TTK felt the same, a little bit longer, but I was like, oh, this health change isn't really that big of a deal. Then Iron Trials was done. I played regular BR after having played Iron Trials for 2 weeks. And then I immediately noticed how much faster I was dying and killing people. And I was like, oh, okay. Stepping down in TTK was way more noticeable than stepping up to me. So I am very, very interested to see, because this is going to be a fuck ton of health, what that is going to feel like. And I'm quite excited for it, because this is going to feel way different. Way different than regular BR, obviously, and I think it's even going to feel different than Iron Trials. Plus, there's 150 billion people on the map at the same time.
Yeah, 152.
That's going to be pretty wild,
quads,
too.
Yeah.
So I'm like super excited for this, and only this, as it relates to Season 4 Reloaded. And I'm also unclear if bomber planes are also in Titanium Trials. I'm unclear on that point.
You spawn with loadout, spawn with self-res, you spawn on a bomber plane.
You spawn in a bomber plane, that's correct, yeah. You don't drop out of a plane unless you choose to, because everyone flies in at the same time. Yeah.
Correct.
And it's 151 people above my plane. And then as soon as you can, they're just going to drop their bombs. I'm not going to hear them. And I'll get a notification after my plane has exploded. And I'm free falling to the earth with a res indicator.
That was the other funny thing I forgot to mention about that bombing, the bombing incident, Troll Despair, by the way, I was literally 300 meters away from you guys, and the little Tom and Jerry bomb sound sounded like it was right above me. So it's like, you don't hear the plane flying over you, but you hear the bomb sounds, and then I hear the bombs dropping 300 meters away, like it's bombing on top of me. Just nice, man.
Sick code. Sick audio.
Yeah. It's so funny. I mean, it was so loud because I was like,
the bomb audio is like super loud and distinct, which it should be, but like make the planes make noise too, man. It's so simple. Yeah,
exactly. And don't let people bomb 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah. That too. Yeah, that too. You should have to be at a minimum altitude to drop the bomb, I think. That would help. Give the planes fucking sound for sure too also, but
for sure remove the planes.
Remove the planes. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. For sure remove the planes. But are you looking forward to Titanium trials?
It's the only thing I have to look forward to now, man. I mean, it's nothing else to look forward to with this season update. There's not much going on until we get Titanium trials, which I think was what, August 11th, 12th?
Something like that. Sure.
So
time.
Yeah, it'll be something different to play, and then unfortunately we'll get it for a week. We'll all be having an absolute blast, and then they'll remove it, and we won't have Titanium trials again until Warzone 2.
Correct.
So that'll be fun and exciting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was worried at first when they had been talking about the health, and then once we got the actual patch notes, it's the same amount of health as Iron Trials has been. It's just different. Like it's more armor now, and less actual base health. So gunfights will be different. But yeah, I'm excited for something different that's like competitive. If it's fun, I do want to try to go for that weapon skin. That's
absolutely 20, the 20
that's
wins.
20. Yeah.
I agree.
Exactly.
I would really like to
because they've never like added any sort of challenge in that's like actually rewarding to get. It's a cool camo. It's hard to get. Not many players will get it. That's something to grind for. And because the other things are like so dumb. It's like, open 7 chests in this area and you get a charm.
Yeah.
Kill 5 players and plunder in this area. Collect $5 billion trillion of plunder cash at Storage Town. And then you get some dog shit Itra Burst blueprint. This is just straight up win 20 games and get a blueprint, or win 0 and don't get it. It's that simple.
Camo, which is even better.
Yes, camo.
Yeah.
That you can apply to all Vanguard guns, which will crash and dev air your game probably.
Absolutely. But it's something to grind for, and it gives you a sense of progression. And if you're a patron, you'll hear all about that in our latest Patreon episode about Escape from Tarkov and other games we've been playing. So, but yes, I agree with you. If it is fun, I would love to get that. I'd love to grind for that 20 win blueprint. That would be sick. For sure.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I actually can't conceive of something Activision could do to really grab my interest for more than a couple weeks at a time before Warzone 2. I don't think there is something, at least nothing realistic they can do. We are in the same boat, I suspect, as many Call of Duty fans, which is like Warzone fatigue, Vanguard fatigue, anticipation for Warzone 2 and MDub 2, you know? So, in the meantime, at least we'll have Titanium trials, so that'll be good.
Titanium.
Indeed. So.
Aluminium trials. Fuck people who say aluminium.
Yeah, you're literally adding a vowel. Stop it.
So it's goddamn Brits.
Yeah, that's the British don't know how to speak English, which is ironic since
the English don't know how to speak English. Isn't that crazy?
It's wild.
Fuck the Brits.
Yeah, fuck Brits.
Unless they're patrons, then we love the Brits.
Fuck
the non-patron.
Yeah.
Brits.
All right, so that's it. Let us know your guys' thoughts, overall impressions. Incredibly lackluster. And it's because the foundation of Warzone now is so corroded and rotten that you can't really add anything to it and it be good anymore, actually.
The foundation is sinking, man. Yeah,
because you can't add a gun. Like, for example, you can't add a gun and it be exciting to Vanguard because you're going to put 10 attachments on it and then it's going to feel like every other gun. So that is like one huge element that used to be present in every single MW season for Warzone. Every single new gun was a potentially meta shifting, new identity defining like moment and gun. But now that's not even it's not even possible for them to do unless they add some crazy good semi-auto gun that uses AR ammo. That could be something they do, or a really good burst gun. Dude, a good Vanguard burst weapon with how little recoil the 3 to 6x optic has, it would be insanely overpowered, and I still want it because at least it would be different. That would be cool too. That's another thing they could do to interest me for longer than 2 weeks max, like Titanium
J-God
Trials.
was showing, he was going through like all the different guns and he was showing them like at long ranges, like more than 120 meters. And he talked about the at your burst and he was showing it. He's like, look at how unusable this is at this distance. Cause you fire a burst, by the time those bullets hit, seriously, they're landing like feet apart at even 100 meters because there's such a large spread on them. He's he's like terrible, unusable gun on Caldera. Right. But it's, I don't know, man. Like, why do they all land in such different spots?
Yeah, just
it bloom still or
the
what?
MOA, man. That simple.
Yeah, have they not like repaired it or what? What's the durability on that thing?
What's the durability? Yeah, so let us know your guys' thoughts. That's it. Once again, at the Dropshot Pod on Twitter. Peep our schedule because we're doing something diffy. We're moving diffy next week, and it will be announced in our events tab on Discord, which you can join in the show notes or description below, and on our Twitter at the Dropshot Pod. See our pinned tweet. Patreon.com/the Dropshot is the best way to support the program. We do 7 bonus episodes per month, monthly hangouts, and more. Once again, patreon.com/the Dropshot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you all for watching and listening. Have an excellent evening, of course, and as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.